a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad. You'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey, all you beautiful movie-loving people out there, live from a red carpet somewhere, surrounded by celebrities. This is the Movies Merica podcast with Van Ebert, where movie reviews meet cold brews. Van will review your favorite and maybe not so favorite movies while enjoying some ice-cold beers and saying cheers. Now let's head into the theater and join our illustrious movie reviewer du jour, who's no doubt got the beer ready to pour, Van Ebert. Hey, everybody. Hey, tonight, welcome, everyone, to the Dog Pound. Oh, yeah, there's no bones about it. Yeah, we're going to get right into this review here after a few little things we got to get to right there. But, yeah, I think tonight you're going to be thinking that this review is brought to you by Gravy Train and Kibbles and Bits and Purina and Petco and PetSmart, you know, and Bacon. I don't know if they even make that anymore. Remember those commercials? You know, bacon strips. You know, you like give your dog these strips and it looks like bacon, like almost looks good enough for a human to eat. I know I looked at them like, I wonder what that would taste like. Maybe I could dip it in some ranch, you know, and then I could be going around yelling, bacon! Yeah, so tonight, if you haven't caught the hint, I will be reviewing the Channing Tatum movie, Dog.
It's expired, sir.
Come on, man. You know how many times I've been in and out of this gate with that?
Excuse me?
What's the odds on ISIS?
Step out of the vehicle, sir.
You want me to step out the vehicle? I'll have it.
He's with the Ranger Battalion.
Ranger Battalion. I've been busting my ass to get my mind and my body back into a good place. I need to get back in the game, sir.
You want to get back in the game? Prove it. Sergeant Rodriguez was a legend. Family funeral Sunday outside of Nogales. They want his dog at the funeral. You do this, and you're back in the game. She won't work with anyone. One minute she's good, the next minute she's sending 3 guys to the ER.
What's up, dog? And you're gonna go on a little road trip. Easy. What are y'all so scared of? Smell it out, big time.
What is your deal, man? Maybe just take the crazy down one notch.
Hey! No! No! You're just a demon. You're just a demon. Whatever happened to you, dog? You used to be a legend. Hey! Oh, no! Hey, dog!
You're so good.
How'd you make her get out of your hand?
I just talked to her. See, she's just a noodle. She just is so good.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So doesn't that sound like a good movie? And, yeah, it's a movie that I would check out. I would check out there. I mean, not to, lead with that. I'm just kind of giving the farm away right there with what I think about the movie right off the bat. But, yeah, it's a good movie, and it's not as predictable as I thought it was going to be for this kind of movie. It's about Channing Tatum, and he's going to go transport this dog. Is kind of the synopsis of the movie. But before I get too deep in the old dog dish here, let's get a little information out the way. Right? You got to do a little housekeeping, right? Got to bust out the broom. Got to bust out the old Hoover vacuum, if those even exist anymore. And let you know that this podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many other platforms. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please, God, I sound pathetic, don't I? Ugh. So good at it, though. Please, on Apple Podcasts, if you're on there, please give it a 5-star rating. And, hey, if you're so kind, give it a review. I mean, even if it's like just a 2-word review, like, this is awesome. Well, that's 3 words. Okay, why not a count, Van? God. Or, this sucks. There you go, that's 2 words. Not 2 very nice words, but that's 2 words. All right. And you just have to scroll down to the bottom of all the episodes there in Apple Podcasts to get to where you can rate and review. And also make sure to download all the episodes there too. Yeah, I gotta do that. Also, I'm on social media on Twitter and Instagram under Movies Merica. If you want to check out what I post on there, if you want to share anything with me, go ahead and get my DMs. Is that a thing? Are the young whippersnappers still saying that? Getting my DMs? Are they on the Instaface? So, hey, if that's still a thing, do it, okay? All right. And also, as you know, if you've listened to any of my episodes, I typically drink a beer, but I am off that for right now just temporarily. Let me assure you that just temporarily. I still love my beers. It's just a temporary thing because I'm doing this fitness lifestyle thing called 75 Hard. And, it's for a good cause, and, and it's exactly like it sounds. It's hard, and it's hard for 75 days. And one of the things that you can't do is drink alcohol. So I'm going to be a good follower of the program. I'm going to be a good disciple and stay devout and true, as hard as it is, and not drink any booze, including my beloved beers, while I'm doing this podcast. Okay, all right. So, enough about me bellyaching. I can't have any beer. I'm sure that's what you came here for, right? So, yeah. But hey, anyway, so let's get into Dog. All right. So, like I was kind of mentioning before, Dog is about Channing Tatum, and he's an Army Ranger in this movie, and he's gotten injured in combat. He's been out there, downrange in the fight, and he's got injured, and he's got some residual problems from that that's keeping him, out of the game, keeping him from being able to be deployed again, and he's just having to jump through a bunch of hoops to try to get through that. Well, so one of his teammates there, unfortunately takes his own life there. Just, the PTSD got too much or whatever, but he ended up, unfortunately taking his own life, and his dog, the guy that ended his own life, worked with over downrange, in combat, is requested by this dead Army Ranger's family to be at his funeral. And this is presented at Channing Tatum as a great opportunity to transport this dog, because Channing Tatum's character also knew this dog. He was part of their group over in I believe it's Afghanistan is where they were at. Might have been Iraq. I forget. But so he was one of the canine units there that they used, and so Channing Tatum knew the dog from over there, but apparently the dog got shot too, as unfortunately many of those dogs in those combat situations do get shot. And dogs, they suffer from PTSD too. They do, and it's sad, but so this dog is no different. The dog's name is Lulu, and for some reason, I guess maybe just kind of keep some emotional distance. Channing Tatum calls it Dog, but he's well aware that the dog's name is Lulu because he served with him. And so, the dog's an Army Ranger too, right? It's just a furry Army Ranger. And Channing Tatum is presented with this opportunity to, take this dog, I think from Oregon, down to Nogales. Was that Arizona, New Mexico? I don't know. Need to Google that. So Nogales, I know it's New Mexico or Arizona. So yeah, you know what? Forgive me. But he's got to take the dog down from Oregon down to there to the funeral. And as the movie trailer presents to you, indicates, they do get into some crazy hijinks, some wacky situations. But it's not just that. This movie does, it's got the typical push and pull, oh man, I got to do this job, and there's this thing, in this case a dog, that's posing me problems, and it's causing all this this great struggle, and man, I've got to try to make it through this, and our protagonist has to try to overcome, and so it's got all that, but the movie gets deeper, and it has more depth. It's got more seriousness to it than I would have thought. I thought it was going to be kind of more of like a Marley and Me kind of dog movie, like a Turner and Hooch kind of movie where it was a little bit more lighthearted, and it was, had its funny moments in this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely some funny moments, but yeah, this movie took some turns that I wasn't expecting it to. And in one scene that I'm referring to, you definitely learn that I think Joe Rogan would really like this dog. I mean, anybody like Joe Rogan that thinks that cannabis is a whole separate new food group, I think that he would dig this dog. Yes, and I will just leave that right there. I'll just put that right there, and then you will be able to determine what I was talking about when you watch the movie. You'll watch the scene, like, oh, that's what Van was talking about. Okay, there you go. Yep, all right, yep. Old hemp black light just went on. There you go. Yep, the old black lamp went on, and so then so there's a scene involving that I didn't know where they're going with it. To be honest with me, and it's just like, this was like, this fun road trip with his dog, kind of a funny Turner and Hooch, jovial, hey, all right, it's kind of gonna have a little fun, kind of a movie that serves as a little entertaining distraction, and then this scene happened, like, okay, I don't know where this is going, but it does kind of fit within the spirit of the movie when all is said and done. But I was not expecting that in a movie like this at all. And also, one thing that I noticed about this movie is I don't think the Portland, Oregon Chamber of Commerce is going to be endorsing this movie anytime soon, okay? And you will undoubtedly see and hear what I mean about that. Like, okay, all right. Hey, it definitely concentrates on how Portland tries to keep things weird, among other things nowadays. But Portland does serve as a jumping off point for some, funny comedic moments in it. And Channing Tatum kind of goes back to his 21 Jump Street days, and, in this, where he just kind of plays like the clueless, lovable, hunky dude, that just isn't wise in the ways of the world, and finds out some harsh realities about trying to pick up women in Portland. So I'll just put it that way. But again, yeah, Portland Chamber of Commerce, yeah, they won't be endorsing this movie anytime soon. But this movie, it moves fast. It's fast paced. The editing is good. It's got a kind of a nice, as far as the music selections in it. It's kind of got a folksy, down home music selection to it that kind of fits within the theme of the movie. A lot of kind of like folksy music and kind of new age country, and but I think they do a good job at portraying like how dangerous this dog can be. I mean, this dog is trained to kill, right? It's trained to go right after that jugular and lives, in the goal of protecting its troops. It went through canine training, and it's trained to see certain things, experience certain stimuli that tells it, all right, it's time to your eyes are supposed to go all red, and you're just supposed to be nothing. You're supposed to see nothing but death, but you also see that this dog, it has that in its history. I should say she. It's a female dog, Lulu. She has that training that's been bred into her, or that's been trained into her. But also, she is still a dog, right? And just like humans, dogs have emotions, and they need to be, need to be loved and adored and understood, and Channing Tatum isn't too good at that at first. I mean, he just sees the dog as an errand, right, as a chore, as just some mundane task that he's got to achieve in order to get to his ultimate goal of getting deployed, because life ain't going so good for him outside of outside of being an Army Ranger, and he's looking to get back into his glory days and get back into the fight. But along the way, as you would expect, in this movie, and as the trailer indicates, I mean, they start bonding, but it even though what's going to happen, I think the pacing of how it happens it's predictable, yet you don't mind, right? I mean, what would you want from this movie, right? Would you want it to be unpredictable and like he ends up like doing something terrible to the dog? They don't bond at all, and it's a terrible, heartbreaking ending. Well, no, people don't go to movies like this, for that. They want to have a heartwarming, ending, to it, but has some fun along the way. And this movie provides that in spades. It's just real. You definitely see them bond here, and it's pretty cool.
You're a very photogenic dog, you know that? You're like a hero. Why didn't you tell me you had a brother? And he lives in Los Angeles. We got something in common, me and you. I got family in that godforsaken city. You know what? I'll make you a deal. You don't do anything else psychotic on this trip and we make a good time, we can go see him. Maybe. Okay? Is that a deal? Shake? You shake. You sure got it?
You could hear the ocean in the background in that scene, and that's another thing about this movie is it's got some fantastic scenery in it too, because as I said, they're road tripping from Oregon down to like New Mexico, Arizona, and so apparently like for most of the movie they're like on Highway 1, so they're right on the Pacific coast, and it's just some fantastic scenery that you see there, and so it looks like a road trip I'd want to take, that's for sure. I mean, maybe not with a troublesome dog, like Lulu in there, but it definitely would be something that I'd want to do. But yeah, it's and I should mention that with Lulu, I mean, she is a Belgian Malinois, which a lot of people mistake for like a miniature German Shepherd, and they're not. They're a Belgian Malinois, and they're they're chosen because just their temperament and their adaptability to learning makes them great canine dogs and just dogs for combat and for taking orders. And you might recognize them as the dogs that Halle Berry also uses in John Wick 3. So they are pretty deadly, and they make a pretty good ally for anyone that's in the realm of battle, and fighting and all that. But the supporting cast in this as well. Ethan Suplee has a great part in it as well, where he is now the daddy to Lulu's brother, and in that scene right there, they were talking about going and having let Lulu go see his brother in Los Angeles, and so they do end up heading there to see his brother. And Ethan Suplee, like I said, plays his brother's daddy, and you can tell he's a combat vet as well. And it's kind of interesting to see Ethan Suplee because he's like just lost a lot of weight. He was in movies like The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher back in the day. I think it was what was that? What is that? Remember the Titans. I think it was in Remember the Titans. I mean, he was a big boy. He was always played like the big fat character, in movies, and now he's slim and trim, So yeah, you see a lot of celebrities doing that nowadays, like celebrities that you wouldn't recognize or think that they would do that, but just like the one guy off of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I always forget his name, but he got all jacked up and shredded, and then so did Ethan Suplee in the last few years, and so he's in this movie, and so he's a good supporting character in it. There's there's a character that plays his, I believe it's his captain, and he's does a great job at a very convincing job at playing his captain, his superior, and that he's Channing Tatum's trying to get him to put in a good word to get back in the Army Rangers, and that's another thing this movie does a credible job at, is it illustrates the bond between men and women that have served here, particularly the SF guys, the Special Forces guys like Army Rangers there. I mean, these guys have been through hell. They've had to put their lives in each other's hands. It's like, if you don't do your job, your brother gets killed. If he doesn't do his job, you could get killed. And I can't think of a better bonding apparatus than that, right? You're there, in the hell that is war, whether it's, World War II, or you're in trench warfare in World War I, or the Chosin Reservoir in Korea, or, you're Da Nang in Vietnam. I mean, Fallujah, and, the Iraq War, Kabul, and, in Afghanistan. I mean, just the incredible stress and that you're in, and, iron sharpens iron, and these guys, bond, in amongst, the hellish chaos that is combat, being downrange. And this movie, does a good job at portraying that. And, it just, unfortunately, like I said, part of the movie is that Lulu's, daddy, does take his own life. He basically smashes a truck right into a tree. And it's an all too common, not to bring things down too much, but that's an all too common happening in real life here. And so just to, just kind of sidetrack here a little bit. So on that note, with the all too common veteran suicide, just check out sites like One Tribe Foundation and Wounded Warrior Project. I mean, this movie does a good job at, making you aware, that is, an all too common occurrence, veteran suicide, and like they say, more than once in this movie, Army Rangers find a way to die, and that's not just Army Rangers, but the military in general. But anyway, so enough about that here. Yeah, definitely keep that in your mind, on your mind, and feel free to donate to anybody that's helping out with that. But yeah, so as you can tell, with this movie, I would definitely check it out. Do you need to see it at the theater? No. Apparently, it came in number 2 at the box office over the weekend. It got beat out by Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in Uncharted. But I decided, I was like, I'm a dog lover. I got my boy Tugboat, my English bulldog Tugboat, and he was telling me, you know what, you need to go see Dog. You better not go see Uncharted over a dog movie. So hey, I had my orders. I had my orders from my dog, from my Tugboat. So I had to go see this movie, and apparently, yeah, my boy has good taste in movies. So yeah, absolutely. But anyway, so yeah, hey, I'm gonna cut this review short here tonight. Because yeah, I think my voice is taking a dump here. So time to listen to the old vocal abilities here, and listen to what they're saying, and throw in the towel. But hey, I want to thank you for listening. As always, again, this podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Please get on Apple Podcasts. Scroll on down to the very bottom of the reviews and give it a 5-star review and a rating. And check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. I refuse to get on TikTok. I refuse! And anyway, with that, you guys have a good day, all right? And make sure your day is not too rough. Yeah. Bye.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.